a cop, a chief, put him up, has been accused of sexually violating another human being. And that human being happened to be 17. So this story is especially gruesome. All right. Um, we're going to call the young lady CH. CH had reported that her stepmother sold her to be sexually violated for $100 when she was 17 years old. The buyer, she told the sheriff's department, wasn't just anyone. It was the man you just saw, Police Chief Larry Clay. While he was in uniform and on duty the first time against his department issued vehicle, the second inside of a police office. Clay, 55, and the stepmother, 27, were both charged with sex trafficking of a minor. Clay, who declined comment to the Washington Post, hired an attorney and pleaded not guilty. CH's furious stepfather told his neighbors that CH was just an angry teen lying to get her stepmother in trouble. So Clay's attorney warned the jury, CH, he warned, is playing with Larry Clay's life, end quote. CH kept her voice a controlled monotone as she answered questions about the late spring 2020 when she was 17. Clay, she testified, had been having sex with her stepmother, Naylor Legg. The family was struggling to keep the electricity and water paid. Then her stepmother approached her with a way of getting cash, an idea from Chief Clay. Quote, he brought it up to her that he was sexually interested in me, CH said. Quote, we needed the money for bills. The teen's response, an absolute no. Didn't stop her stepmother from asking CH again until she was no longer asking. Soon, there was a photo on the screen in front of the jury of a gravel road surrounded by trees. It was there, CH testified, of the secluded switchbacks that Naylor Legg took her to meet Chief Clay for the first time. The chief unzipped his uniform, but never took it off. His gun belt stayed on. CH tried to describe it without feeling it, her head being forced down, then her body on the hood of the chief's car. He was me, CH said. Quote, did you say anything to him during this time? Harold asked. Too scared, CH said, balling her hands in her lap. She testified that she saw Clay give her stepmother the cash. She would later learn it was $100. When Clay was suspended from the sheriff's department, he was given a letter informing him that a female has made allegations that you have engaged in sexual misconduct while working as the chief of police of Gully Bridge. He was placed on paid leave. Pack, his longtime friend, watched as the sheriff confiscated his badge and his gun. The sheriff believed him. The sheriff believed he did it. I've seen other officers do stuff and it gets fixed. Pack remembered Clay saying. On Pack's porch that day, Clay offered to resign from the sheriff's department as long as he could keep his law enforcement certification so he could find a job at another agency. He said, James, you got to take care of this, make this go away. Pack recalled, do you understand what's happening? According to the testimony, his friend is saying, well, when this all went down, Clay is well aware that the culture of policing allows for things to be taken care of. Wait a minute. Why do you need anything taken care of if you didn't do it? Why do you need someone to do a favor for you if it didn't happen? All you need is vindication of your innocence. But that was not the conversation according to your friend. That was not the conversation according to the record. The prosecutor posed a question, quote, did she say what might happen if you didn't agree to do this? She said she would make it to where nobody ever loved or cared for me again, and I wouldn't have a roof over my head. CH answered. The stepmother was sentenced to 9 years in prison. Put her up. Chief Clay was found guilty twice for charges involving sex trafficking and twice for obstruction of justice. CH, now 22, is still waiting for Clay to be sentenced. Clay has remained in a county jail instead of federal prison because of his request to delay his sentencing. Keep that picture up. Keep those pictures up. Okay. And put up the picture of the mother again. All right. Okay. So obviously, they've been convicted. The trauma that this child felt then had to relive during the trial because the chief isn't noble enough to simply take his punishment and move on with his life. Makes her relive it. And now he's in county jail, probably has a lot of favor with the locals. They know him, maybe quite comfortable for him. We would say he hasn't been sent down the road yet. He has not gone to his prison sentence yet, and he should. So why is he still there? These delays are courtesies. What courtesy does he deserve? None. What courtesy did he give this child? None. He would have preferred that the child be disbelieved, reputation ruined, just so he could keep his law enforcement certification so that he can go and abuse somebody else. It's time for him to move on down the road. I'm glad they got a prison sentence. My opinion, what the mother did should have received even more time than she got. Daria, thoughts here?
Story is absolutely terrible, and I think mostly because of the abuse of power. One, by the mother. For her mother, you're in a position of power over her, you're supposed to be taking care of her. And then by the police chief, the fact that he's supposed to be protecting civilians, and instead he's traumatizing this young girl, and she's going to have to live with that for the rest of her life. So he should be sentenced, preferably for the rest of his life.
Right. That's right. All right, well said. We'll bring you updates if they move him soon as to what happens next. All right, we appreciate all of the eyes on stories like this. It does make a difference. It gets the wheels of justice moving in the direction they should.